YouTube, it's Erin, and this is my 2-week postpartum update. I'm going to apologize in advance for the lighting. I know it's horrible, as you can tell. This whole side of my face is like dark because the light's over here. But yeah, so anyway, I'm sitting in my living room. Willow's beside me here, so I figured it was a good time to do a quick update. So this update, as I mentioned, is just my 2-week postpartum, so it's pretty much all about me, not about Willow at all. But of course it has something to do with her because I'm going to tell you about breastfeeding as well. So I'll first talk about my healing, so my peri care. I've continued to do what I've been doing. So as some of you may know, I had a 3rd-degree tear, which was very, very painful. In the first couple of days home, I literally, I bawled. I cried my eyes out because I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't sit. I was just, I couldn't get up to walk around and take care of my baby. It was just all around bad. I did not enjoy it. I pretty much kept on a very strict Advil and Tylenol schedule, which ibuprofen and acetaminophen was completely okay by my doctor, even breastfeeding. So I did that. The sitz baths helped immensely. The peri bottle with warm water in it to spray after using the washroom was awesome. Epsom salt baths, etc. was all really good. I even found taking a hairdryer sometimes on a warm or cool, not cool, but a warm setting, not hot setting, and then just sort of running that over the area helped a lot as well. So in the past week, it's been a lot better. I can actually sit up now without it being sore. It sometimes is still uncomfortable, depending on how I sit. And I can't sit and drag my body either. I have to just basically sit, and kind of stay in one spot. I'm still bleeding, so it's been a full 2 weeks. Actually, it's now 15 days. But I still have bleeding happening. It's not as heavy as I would have expected, but I think that's also because I'm breastfeeding, and I've heard that if you breastfeed, the bleeding is not as bad. What else? I wrote some notes because I knew I would forget. So when I left the hospital, they did tell me, like I said in the last video, to take a hand mirror and to keep an eye on the area to make sure that there was no weird fluid, or if it looked swollen or inflamed. So I had done that in the first week. Scared myself to death, I'll tell you people, because oh my god, I was like, I don't want to look at it all stitched up and stuff. It's it's my area. Oh, anyway, so I took a mirror. Finally, this week, I took a mirror and looked, and it looks like my stitches are actually all gone. So I think now it's just a matter of waiting for the area to fully heal, because even though the stitches are dissolved, it's still healing. I did go to Walmart in Bayshore, which is a shopping mall where I live, yesterday. I think it was, no, the day before. And walking around was actually really tough. I found, sorry, this is life with a newborn. I found that I could walk slowly, but by the end I felt chafed and I felt really sore down there. So I can't walk for a lengthy, a long period of time right now. Not at all. So I can't wait for that to kind of normalize, because that would be fantastic. My weight, I've dropped, I think, another 5 pounds. I don't weigh myself that often, just because I figure, why bother looking at the scale? But good news, when I was pregnant, I couldn't get my own pants up past my thighs. Literally could not get them up over my butt, etc. They just wouldn't go up. And so I took one of the pairs of pants that I had, and I can get them on all the way up, but I can't get them done up, zipper-wise. So that's okay, though. The fact that I can get them up is huge for me. I was so excited. And then I'll work on the rest later, you know, once I'm feeling up to it. It's been so cold here anyway that I wouldn't feel like going out and going for long periods of, or long walks anyway, and I can't due to the chafing and all that fun stuff down there. My tummy is definitely getting flatter. Like, I'm not doing anything right now to do that. I think it's just the breastfeeding that's really been helping. So it's been going down, which is great. My mood this week has actually been fantastic, except for I think I had one night where like I was just having a tough time with breastfeeding, and I'll get to that in a second. And I was just ready to give up. Like, I literally was ready to give up. I was sitting here on my couch getting ready to feed her, and I was trying to get her latched on, and she just wouldn't, and my like right breast, the piston action boob was like spraying breast milk everywhere. And I literally like put the baby on the boppy pillow, like she was comfortable, and I sat here and the tears just started, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. This is just not for me. And so that's been my only like moment in a week. So that's pretty good. Otherwise I feel really, really great. My mood's been good. I'm getting more energy now, even though I'm still not sleeping that much, but I am getting more energy, so I'm actually like able to, and because I can move around now a little bit better, I'm actually able to like clean a little bit and, you know, cook and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's the hormones in the first week were insane. They were crazy. I've noticed that I'm breaking out now. I didn't break out my entire pregnancy, but now I'm getting like, I broke out like all along here. But with breastfeeding has been challenging. And I just want to say to all new moms out there that if you hate breastfeeding in the first couple of weeks, it's totally normal. It's totally okay. I had this vision before I had a baby that like the baby would come out, she'd go to my breast, it would be magical, I would feed her, so we would be done feeding her, I would burp her, and like it would be, you know, the end, and that was the magic fairy tale of breastfeeding. It's not like that at all. And if your experience is like that, then holy cow, you are like an anomaly, and good for you, because like that's seriously good for you. I'm not just being sarcastic, but like good for you. But for me, it has been so hard, and I wish more moms would talk about this, because it's so okay that it's hard and it's challenging and we don't know how to do it properly. You know, like we don't know. And the thing is, it's not just as easy as like baby to boob, you know, baby drinks, baby's done. It's not that simple. Like there has to be the proper latch, proper positioning. You know, your nipples are going to get sore and cracked and bleed possibly, and all this stuff happens. And literally, I've wanted to give up like 7,000 times in the past like 2 weeks. I've just been like, I've had moments where I just sat and cried. I've emailed the Lalesh League saying I need help. I've emailed an actual lactation consultant. I know they are too, but so I emailed an actual lactation consultant who, you know, charges like $80 an hour, which is totally fine. I would be willing to pay that, but it's just, you know, you don't realize that it's not going to be just as simple as you just doing it. Anyway, so I'm actually now at a point where it's gotten easier, which is, I never thought I would say that. Like last week I was totally like, this just sucks. I hate this. But it's gotten easier. So because of the sore cracked nipples that I had leading up to, or like that I developed due to not knowing how to properly latch and doing, you know, poor positioning and things like that, I had to stop breastfeeding for 2 days. And I exclusively on those 2 days, I pumped. Now I have a Medela pump and style breast pump. It's not an inexpensive one. So if you decide you want one, think about your use first before you invest in one like that. But anyway, I was glad I did, because I pumped for 2 days and fed her a bottle for those 2 days of breast milk, and I let my nipples heal, because I knew that if I continued, first of all, every time I put her to my breast, I grit my teeth, I would cry, I would like, I just hated it. And, like, I would dread her feedings. Like, every time I'd look at the clock and I'd be like, oh my God, she's getting ready to feed again. I don't want to do this. This sucks. I, like, literally was at a place where I was just like, I don't know what to do. And at night, you know, I wasn't feeding her enough. So it would be like, she'd be up so often that I would be exhausted. And anyway, what I will tell you that's helped me is this cream, Lancino, it's a lanolin cream. This I put on after every single feeding, after every time I shower, every time I change my breast pads. I put this on my body, or just on my nipples. It's helped immensely. I also express some breast milk after feeding, and I rub that on my nipples as well. Breast milk has vitamin E in it, so it's naturally healing. That's helped a lot. When I was engorged, I would take warm washcloths right before I fed, put them on my breast, really, really warm washcloths, let that do its thing, take it off, put her to breast immediately. That seemed to help. And then the more frequently I can feed her before my breasts get too full, the better it is. The minute they get too full, the nipple does not come out properly, it starts to hurt, etc. But if I can catch her, like if I can get her on the breast sooner, so much better. I also found that when my nipples were like really sore, if I fed her off of one breast at one feeding and then another, like the other breast at the other feeding, that helped too, because then the nipple was getting a bit of a break. It does cause one of your breasts, like right now, this boob is the one I haven't fed off of yet, if you can't tell. So this one's way more full than this one is, but like I just alternate them, and it's totally normal, totally fine to do that, as long as they're still getting a good feed off of the breast, it's totally fine. Plus then they're getting the fore milk, which is the more skim milk, and then the hind milk, which is the fattier milk. Because if you're switching them all the time, they don't always do that. And I had been told to do just 15 minutes on both sides. Like, they told me that in the hospital. Yeah, no. My child will go 10 minutes on this side because this side's like the super pumping one. Like, it just flies out. So she drinks fast, and she gets a lot more milk in a shorter amount of time. This side, she can go like 40 minutes on this breast, with a break in between a changer and whatnot. So it's helped immensely. Any of the breast milk I pumped, I actually just got breast milk storage freezer bags, and I froze some. And I figured that'll be great because then if I ever have a moment where, you know, whatever, I'm sick, or if I have to be out of the house or whatever, my husband has breast milk then in storage. So, the thing too is I was told by so many people, like, don't pump, you're going to screw up, you know, how much milk your breasts need to produce, blah, blah, blah. It didn't screw up my breasts. I actually found that pumping for the 2 days, what I found was that I wanted to get back to breastfeeding because she could empty my boobs out better than the pump could. So I actually preferred her being on my breasts versus the pump. But it didn't screw up my supply. Like, I didn't get super giant boobs, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, all of that to say that if I can go through, like, rusty pipe syndrome, you know, cracked nipples, bleeding nipples, pumping for 2 days, etc., and get through it all, you can too. But know that you're not alone if you hate it. You're not alone if it's challenging. And you're not alone if it's just something that doesn't come naturally, or what is naturally anyway. That's just a farce. I could go on, but let me know if you have any questions whatsoever about anything that I've mentioned. I love doing these updates because this is all the stuff that I wish someone had told me before I had a baby. And I'm sure some people have told me and maybe it just, you know, at the time didn't stick. But this is the sort of stuff that you should prepare yourself for now. You know, it'll help you emotionally and mentally because then you won't feel like you have to be this, like, perfect new mom who knows everything and gets it all right. And, you know, because, like, let's be honest, we don't know. We don't know until you're in the middle of it. Hope you're all doing well. I'll talk to you all soon. And let me know if you have questions. Just post them as a comment. I'm slow to respond, but I am getting to all of my comments. Promise. Okay, talk to you all later. Bye.